across the country, in every region of GSA. There were conversations and conferences. There were questionnaires and inquiries and memos. And when they all had settled down, they became the raw materials for decision, the input from which emerged this detailed feasibility report, which confirmed what many had suspected. Lynn Johnson studied every fact contained in the 164 pages of the report. So did Paul Carter and his assistant, Leonard Mintz. It came under the scrutiny of William Butts, Director of Budget, and Whit Dodson of Data Processing.
This looks like to me to be a very fine staff effort. If this new system will eliminate the cup records within GSA, at the same time give management better operating data, we made a great step forward in our accounting system. Finally, if these projections are anywhere near correct, gentlemen, we can effect a considerable savings in overall cost within GSA.
That looks good to me.
Paul, do you think your people can make the implementation schedule by July 1?
Well, let's try. The people in finance, particularly the field people, think we have a good chance. It'd go a long ways to improving our image.
Wood, you have a tremendous support responsibility here. Can your boys come through?
Well, if Paul here can meet his schedule, Mr. Johnson, we'll meet the ADP schedule.
Okay, Whit, so now we're settled from your standpoint. Bill, how does the project look from a budgetary standpoint?
Well, Lynn, there's no question it's going to cost you a bit more money. As far as the agency is concerned, it'll save a lot. It looks very good from where I sit.
Gentlemen, if we're all in agreement, I'll take it up to the administrator and see what he says about it. Gene, would you see if we can get 30 minutes with the boss to talk about Project 70, please?
Well, this looks like a fine piece of staff work. I got one question, though. Do you really think our present facilities and staff can handle this extra load?
I do, and if you have no objection, I'd like to have the system implemented by 1 July.
Well, good. As you know, I've always held the opinion that GSA has the finest accounting system in the world. We got to get this thing to work in the field, though. We got to get the people in the field that understand our managers and how this thing works. I'm in favor of any program that helps them to do the job more efficiently. We've got to work in line with the President's program to save money. We got to tune in on every last cent and save it if we possibly can.
I'm sure we can, both from a financial standpoint and an ADP standpoint, which have the two biggest workloads in this project.
All right, go ahead.
So, all systems are go. The implementation of Project 70 is underway at every level. Sure, time is short and everybody keeps an eye on the calendar. For maximum effectiveness, the system must go into effect at midnight, June 30th, 1970. But there's no panic. Things just get done.
We'll call these the employment staffing report and the summary report of on-board employment. And all the data we need is in our present payroll system. No extra feed-in required from the divisions. In fact, it cuts out the GSA 685 they now prepare manually.
Given the planning staff was to avoid increasing workload in regional offices. Coding of documents was watched in particular, so current coding methods would be used with only a minimum of change. Yes, send him in. Hi, Bill. I've got something to show you.
Yeah? What is it? Give it back.
Let you decide for yourself. Take a look at that.
I'll be doggone. Darn if it isn't right here in plain English. Project Summary Report. Project 04935. Federal Office Building, Sacramento, California. I never thought I'd live to see the day.
Well, it's all there, Bill, and we can read it.
Hey, look at the detail with it. Activity, for instance. All spelled out. Land purchase, appraisals. Yeah, there's the allotment plan, all broken down by activity. Total obligations, work in place. Even the unobligated balance. How about that?
They're sure giving us what we asked for, Bill. Here, take a look at this. Here's a report we've never had before. Complete summary of every construction project as of the end of the month.
Tell them a glance where each one stands. Say, seeing that Honolulu project reminds me, I've got to send Harry and Carl out there to check up on some details, and I'm a little bit worried about my travel limitation allotment. Just wondering if it'd be okay to dip into next month's money a bit. Bob on his vacation, his cuff records won't be up to snuff.
Cuff records? Man, are you old-fashioned. Now look here, how much travel do you need?
Haven't seen this before.
That's because you haven't had any travel yet this year.
Yes, I have, just last Monday. Authorized a trip to Arizona for Jack.
Monday? Oh, yeah, here it is. Yeah, you obligated $268.35 for it, right?
How did they get that so fast? That's just 2 days old.
Yeah, but take a look at the date, Bill. This report is complete up to the close of business night before last.
I just don't believe it.
You better believe it. From now on, these special reports on travel will never be over 36 hours old.
Boy, it's unbelievable. You know, when they were talking about this earlier, this project,
Excuse me, Chuck. Yes. Oh, yeah, put him in. Norm Berkey, Chicago. Hi, Norm, what's up?
Louise Murray is in here with these new Project 70 reports. Have you seen them yet?
I sure have, Norm. Bill and I are just hatching over his travel plan.
Have you looked over the new detailed history report? Those boys in finance sure listen to what we have to say.
This makes sense now. And with this open items list they've added, I can tell right where I stand without having Louise spend half a day decoding it or pawing over the files.
Notice how they both tie back to the revamped CNA rundown, the allotment status report?
Well, I was talking to Stan Green in Region 8 a while ago.
He tells me he took that new report into the regional administrator with Pete Minardi, and they had quite a
Yes,
about
Mr.
it.
Wagner, this new version of the allotment status report will help us a lot in public building service, and it'll save us a lot of headaches.
That's good. And Pete, Project 70 has given us some desperately needed streamlining, hasn't it?
That is right.
And Stan, I guess it gives you at least some reports that we can start out with.
Well, it gives us some good reports. It's helped us.
We've needed this for a long time, and now that it's here, I know that both of you agree with me that it's something that must and should be done.
All I can say, Norm, is hallelujah. Who would have thought a couple of years ago when we were doing all that griping that they changed the system? Everything we've asked for is in these 8 reports.
But how about workload, Joe? Did the new document preparation and coding add any to yours?
Too early to be sure, Norm. But that training program they put our people through a couple of months ago seems to have made it easy for everyone.
Yeah, I saw some of that.
Personally, I don't think we've added much on to our people. You, Bill? Norm, Bill Stansfield's here, and he agrees. We're okay on workload with the new system.
Let me know if you pick up any shortcuts using these new reports, eh?
Will do, Norm.
Thanks, Joe. So long.
All right, be seeing you. Well, Bill, looks like you really started something that day Judy couldn't tell you your bank balance.
He still hasn't got a whip. Say, didn't they say when they planned this Project 70 that we could call for a special report anytime we needed it?
Anytime, Bill. They've got a new request form we fill out. Press the right button and presto. We get any report we need at any level of detail, all within 30 minutes.
Boy, oh boy, wait till Judy hears this. Maybe now she'll stop harping about how slow the government is and learn to keep her own checkbook straight.
That will be the day.
Say that again.
honey.
Hello, darling.
Now, I got news for you. We're
All
going-
right, you don't have to wait, because I've got news that'll curl your toes.
You got to take the bill.
Of course not, silly. Come on in and see. My big news is at this very minute, I can tell you to the penny exactly how much we have in our checking account.
You can? I don't believe it.
See for yourself, right here on the check stub. Our balance is exactly $19.36.
Uh-oh.
What's the matter, darling?
Just cashed a check for $25 at the gas station.